nights. I mean, did you like the shots you were getting?
Well, I think that we certainly had a whole bunch of them that were pretty open, especially in the first half. I thought maybe there was one or two shot clockers, or I remember one pretty heavily contested that OG took, but there was a whole bunch of the 18 threes in the first half. I think were pretty wide open. So we shot like it was a back-to-back a little bit. Both teams did there for a while.
Fred obviously got tipped up. Any idea of how limited he was by that?
Well, he jammed his thumb pretty bad, right? It was his left hand. I don't know. I haven't talked to him about if that was affecting him or not.
You had to be pretty pleased with the energy defensively.
Yeah.
It was a grimy game, but
Yep.
I mean, you certainly had your nose in there.
Yeah, we played pretty hard. I thought we played pretty hard and pretty physical, and they did a good job of continuing to do what they do. And I thought it was kind of like I thought they made a whole bunch of tough ones that they weren't like long distance shots, 8-10 footers that bounced around and went in. And I thought, man, some of those got to start bouncing out, and they did, right? We started kind of even getting them a little further away on some of those, and holding our ground a little better, not letting them get all the way to the rim and things like that. And we certainly played good enough defense to win the game, especially in the second half. We just didn't capitalize on enough of it, and we had, the in and out score was 18-2 tonight. They had a bunch of them go in and go back in, and we had a bunch of them pop out on the in and out score. So didn't bounce our way.
I kind of touched on this before the game, but they're missing a bunch of key guys. But
Yep.
they can put the ball in Brogdon's hands. And,
Yep.
it's like.
Well, he's an all-star, right? He's an all-star and a really good player. Everybody knows that, and he certainly gave us a tough time in the first half. He certainly hit a huge three too. I thought there in the fourth, coming off. I think we just might have just tied it, and he came off a high ball screen and nailed a three. So yeah, listen. Probably more importantly, they got. Mike Muscala out there hit a huge corner three too, right, with kind of the game in balance as well. So they got a bunch of guys that can step out and take shots and hit them.
What were you seeing from Precious and what he was able to do?
Yeah, he just really had it going, just kind of all the way around. He had one of his energetic type games. He made some really good switches. He was protecting the rim. I don't know how many rebounds he ended up to, but he was active. He had 9 boards. I mean, he was active on the glass, and he was pretty decisive at the offensive end. I thought he made some good decisions down there, especially the second half.
Coach, when you have that final minute to kind of try to get something going, I know Pascal kind of had the ball, and is that the look that you're
Well. Listen, we ran a pretty good little play there, and OG kind of came off there wide open. He's got to take that. And I know he's wasn't feeling maybe that great from three most of the night, but we run a misdirection play and 2 guys stay with Pascal. That's just got to go up. Caught him off guard a little bit that he was so open. So you got to make the read, and we did make the right read because they kept 2 on the ball and got it out to one of our good shooters. So the execution was there. We just need to pull the trigger on the shot. Yeah.
Coach, against the Miami Heat, it was a tough shooting night
Yep.
from distance as well, but you guys still actually closed it
Yep.
out pretty well. What was the difference defensively in this one?
Well, I think I even said the same thing. I think we were exactly the same, 2 for 18 from 3 against Miami and 2 for 18. And I kind of said that at the half. I said, all right, we got them right where we want them, right? So, I don't know defensively or whatever. It just seemed like there was a ton of really close, tough plays at the end, and they just didn't, a couple balls going out of bounds. Looked like they could have gone either way and kind of kept going the same way. And there was a really soft loose ball foul on a rebound. There was a steal on the side. There was a lot of little things that we just didn't quite get the breaks or the ball to go our way, bounce our way.
Taking off of Precious as well, do you feel like tonight's game for him was more of him getting back to his old ways, or did he make any sort of adjustment?
No, I just think, listen, he's had a some sporadic minutes and things like that in some games. And just again, throw him out there tonight. He starts playing really well. Like the look of everything that was happening both ends of the floor. And that's I always say, and you might get 4 minutes or you might get 14 straight. If you really start playing well. And it was the latter for him tonight.
You had a few starters at the bench for a while there in the second quarter, and that was a 16-point quarter. Any thoughts to trying to get those? Again, we talked about calling a timeout.
Yeah, it was it was one of those again. That's what you mean. They were at the scorer's table for a good 3 minutes or so, I think, before there was a whistle, right? And I did end up taking a timeout eventually. I didn't mind it that much. I know we got down like 10 or something like that. I didn't mind it that much because I felt like we were playing decent, pretty good. And I just felt like, okay, so we're going to buy some minutes in the second half for these guys and give ourselves a chance here at the end. And kind of proved out that way. And again, we just didn't quite, get the ball to go our way, bounce our way at the end.
Thanks, everyone.
All right.
Shooting just hasn't been there for you guys. How frustrating is it to lose one that was winnable based on that?
Yeah, I think every loss is frustrating on different levels. We played a pretty good game for the most part. Execution was there. I wouldn't give it an A+ by any stretch, but we fought, we competed, we made plays. Obviously, we lost the second quarter by 9. But yeah, 6 from 33s. It's gonna be hard to win like that. You got to make every play down the stretch, and we didn't do that. And certainly, this one's on me. I don't know if we're going to survive 2 for 14 and 1 from 12 from 3. So just got to find ways to be more effective. I'll take full responsibility for this one for sure.
What happened to your thumb, and how much was it bothering you?
I just got caught in a jersey. But, again, me, I'm not going to make too many excuses if I'm out there. Just got to find ways to be more effective. And I thought P had a pretty good offensive game. Scotty was good. Precious had a good game off the bench. So we had guys that was picking up the slack, thankfully. But again, as a leader, gotta play better for us.
I'm not asking because of your shooting night, but when Nick was saying before the game, shot making is kind of the one thing that's kind of missing right now. The focus is there, and D's pretty good.
Yeah.
And what do you interpret that when your coach talks about shot making? Again, not relative to your night, but just
I don't know. I'm not gonna interpret what he said. I didn't hear that, so I don't want to make this a response to that. But I will say I usually just grade it on like what are we generating. You know what I mean? And if we're generating good shots in the flow of the offense, then most times you'll be able to live with the result. And if there's nights when it's clunky, and depending on who we're playing and how they're guarding, obviously Boston is one of the best defensive teams in the league for a reason. But they kind of just guard up one-on-one, and so it kind of slowed us down a little bit in the first half. I thought the second half the ball was moving a little bit more and popping and getting to our spots, getting out in transition as well. So I usually just focus on like what shots are we generating. And tonight, not great in terms of flow and rhythm and energy. So we got another shot at it on Friday. We got to look and see how we can be more effective.
Fred, when there is a tough shooting night, what we've seen in Miami and a little bit in Philly as well, not just you in particular, the whole team. Is there a certain limit to how much you guys can do to hold back a team defensively before it's just like solely on the offense?
Yeah, it's definitely an offensive league, and depending on who you're playing, I thought tonight we did enough. We held them to 97. So again, a couple plays go differently down the stretch. Whether it's a whistle or a shot here or there, whatever. We had our chances to close it out, just didn't go our way. So again, we come down the stretch here as we get ready to try to make a push into the playoffs. You got to find ways to win, and there'll be different ways you got to do that. And tonight definitely could have used some more shot making, but. Again, I'll circle all the way back. I'm just going to take responsibility for that just to be a little bit better.